I'm waiting for the bits. And you know what's coming after the bits?
The kibbles.
The the boom. First we get the bits, and then we get the boom, and we're live. Remember how much Leander hated me saying the boom?
Leander gets so
That just
bent
made
out
me
of
do it
shape over-
even with more enthusiasm. You know what I mean? Like every time I did it, and he just cringed, and it made him jump. All right, Lewis.
More with gusto.
I do it with as much gusto. I do everything with gusto. That's my motto. Do it with gusto. I have it tattooed on my buns. One cheek says "do it," and the other side says "with gusto."
That's
Yeah, was that a mistake?
That's a. I don't think that. Oh my god.
All right, here's the tweet.
That seemed right.
All right, let's wait for some people to pile in. We got Reese Grundy here. He's saying, "Hey y'all, good to see you, Gubs." Oh, look at this! People interested in iPhone 14. That's good because we have our best look yet. In fact, I'm like 95% sure. Like this is it. This is exactly what we're gonna get. And we'll of course talk about some of the features that we can expect, and one of them is actually going to be really cool, I think. Welcome to Level Remix. We are also going to be talking about. Oh my gosh, let me see my notes here. We're going to be talking about. Studio Display Pro. Studio Display Pro. Did you just spend $1,600 on the Studio Display? Well, you'll be thrilled to hear about the Studio Display Pro. That's going to be even better. That's incoming. And we're also talking about the return of the big HomePod. I'm never going to let this story die. We've just got way too much smoke. I think Apple's got something big on their up their sleeve. And then we're going to wrap up with a product review. We're dropping the EA story, by the way, Lewis. Boom, gone. We're going to do an all-new under review. And I'm going to be talking about a product that is kind of zany. It's the Anker SoundCore Frames, and these sunglasses have a special
different. Yeah.
Oh, dude, they sent me. You want to see this? You want to see how many pairs they sent?
Let's wait for the break.
Okay, I'll show you guys. They sent me a whole box full of stuff.
Is that what the boxes are back there?
Oh, can
nice.
you see them? Oh, yeah. So
reframe the sound.
Let me see. There we go. You guys can see them all right there. Do you guys like all the trash back there and just a big pile of trash? It's all like excess Amazon inventory for my Amazon business. I'm like, I got nowhere else to store it, so it's just.
Did you get
all
that
right
underneath a bridge?
No, but that might be where it ends up. I'll probably be living in it. But look at all this! Look at all this stuff that Anker sent me for the SoundCore Frames. It's just like just tons of stuff. And I'll be honest, I'm actually very surprised how much I like this product. And in some ways, they've replaced my AirPods. So we'll I know, I know. And I'm not just saying that to build hype. Like I authentically really like these things. So let's see here. We got Mario A. He's here. Sean M. Is Leander still in the basement with the lotion? Oh yeah, but for a whole different reason.
I had to throw a bucket of water on him yesterday.
That's fun. I should fly down there and partake in some of those activities. You know, have you even heard from Leander? I haven't heard from him since he decided to take his break. I messaged him on Slack. He didn't even bother getting back to me. He is out, man.
He's in full contact.
He's in full Cheech Chong mode, I think, with that bag of drugs that he found. We got a Level Remix here. We've got Ulysses Martinez here who says, "Hey y'all." All right, well let's just get this thing rolling. Give us some likes here, guys. If you're here early, hit the like button, and let's send this out to all of the 9 to 5 Mac podcast listeners so they can get an idea of what a real podcast is like. And also maybe you can save the Gruber fans from the talk show hell that they have been immersed in for how long has that show been out? I just love talking trash about those guys. Don't even get me started about the iMore podcast.
Wow, I didn't realize your resentment ran so deep.
No. It's not that deep. It's like midway. Tomas wants to know where LK is. That's a great question. I honestly don't know. He's probably in some DEA questioning facility right now. They got the light shining on him, and they're wondering where he got his big bag of drugs. So he's not going to be back for probably a few months. All right, let's get this thing rolling. Let me cue up Mrs. You Know Who. Oh, Mrs. D. Hello. Oh, hi, Mrs. D. You're very chipper today. Oh, yes. That delicious little LK shared his bag of drugs with me. And then we made love. Whoa, God. Jeez, did you catch that last part? That was gross. Things are getting serious between the two of them, though. That's interesting to hear. Very happy for you, Mrs. D. You seem like you got a very special relationship on your hands there. But if you don't mind, can we get this show rolling? Because people are filing in. They're like, what the heck is going on in this show? I thought this was an Apple show. So let me go ahead and cue up the music for you. We will get this show rolling in 3, 2, 1. Hello, and welcome to CultCast, the best 30-plus minute Apple conversation you're going to hear all week long. I'm your host, Aaron Elijah. Joining me today, he's like a puppet master, pulling the strings behind the inner workings of Cultamac, the controller of every move the writers make, lest they disobey and they get their strings cut. He's the managing editor of Cultamac. Lewis Wallace is here.
That's actually that's misinformation. Their strings don't get cut; they get additional strings added.
Right around their feet, around their hands, before they get tossed into the forgiveness cage. They have to do extra chores.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm sorry I do this twice, but the way we break up the show, I kind of have to. So we got a lot of great stuff to talk about here today. And for those of you that were here for the pre-show, you already know because you were already here and you heard me talk about this. We have our best look yet at iPhone 14. I mean, I think this is it. So we will take a look at your future iPhone and mine. We're also going to be talking about, let me pull my notes here. I've already forgotten. Oh yeah, that's right. We're going to be talking about the Studio Display Pro. So you just bought the Studio Display for $1,600? Sucker. There's another one on the way, and it's going to be way better than it's actually the one that you wanted. And according to a very reliable analyst, it's incoming very soon. So that will be a bummer for all of us who got suckered into the $1,600 Studio Display Pro with the Studio Display, which has the iMac screen. But the mini LED one is the one that we wanted, and that seems like to be the one that's actually on the way. And then we're also going to be talking about the return of the HomePod. And I don't mean a mini. It might be a medium, but it looks like it might be a big one, a real big one.
Maxi.
iPod.
Maxi Pod.
I hope they call it that. I hope that would actually be a great name for it, right? Like the HomePod Max. Oh, man. It's like, like 25 inches. It's just huge. It looks like a barrel. It looks like a giant wine barrel. It just sits there in your living room.
Turn it on, your whole room starts to shake.
Ears bleed. Yeah, I would be interested in one of those. It'd probably be like $4,000 each, but it might be worth it. And then I'm gonna do an under review. It's been forever since we've done a review segment, and I was just telling Lewis, we've been talking about this forever. I'm like, we got to start doing more review units on this show. I mean, more under reviews, reviewing stuff, because I miss it, and so we're gonna try and start getting some more product reviews on the show. And this week, I'm going to be talking about these kind of strange glasses from Anker. They're called the SoundCore Frames. And we talked about these on a previous show. And then I guess Anker saw that we talked about them, then offered to send me a pair along with a freaking huge pile of Anker SoundCore Frames, like glasses stuff. And I actually genuinely, I wouldn't say I love them, but I'm on my way there. They have become an integral tech product in my life. I use these almost every day, and I actually really love them. Well, I really like them. I'm in like with them, let's put it that way. So I'll be giving my full review here in a little bit. Before we dive in, let me go ahead and say thank you to me for supporting this episode, cloth.co. If you are looking for a way to keep your sunglasses, your glasses, your iPhone, your iPad, any of the tech or optical equipment in your life, like your camera, your lenses, sparkling clean, this is the best way that you can do it. This is truly the best way that I have found to do it. We have a line of products called the Cult Cloth, and they are cleaning cloths that are hewn with a very special fiber that goes through a process that breaks down the fibers and adds a lot more cracks, so a lot more surface area, which gives the finished cloths their cleaning power. And when you wipe these things over your Apple Watch, your iPhone, your computer screen, your keyboard, just nothing is left behind but sparkling glass in the middle. They work better than any clean cloth that I've ever used, which is why I decided to start selling them. And I know thousands of you have purchased them, and I always get comments from people about how well they work, and you guys didn't believe me, and then you got them, and you're like, yeah, he wasn't lying. They actually did work. And you can actually feel them in action. If you take the CultCloth Duo, which is our newest one with a dual fiber design, it has short fibers on one side, which is great for cleaning screens, and then long fibers on the other, which is great for cleaning keyboards. Your iPhone, like the crevice between your case and the actual screen, will clear that out, make it sparkling clean. If you rub them against your fingertips, you actually feel the fibers grabbing onto your tips. And you'll see that they're just trying to like clear your fingertips off. They're probably exfoliating. It's probably a great exfoliating product.
Just like a leech.
You know, I'm looking at Lewis and I'm like, look at how nice and moisturized his skin looks. And I know I sent you some CultCloth a while back. Like, are you using them in the shower?
You know what I was just going to say?
What?
One of the great disappointments in my life is that I received the package of CultCast or CultCloth.
Yeah.
And they disappeared into my house. I don't know if my wife threw them away or...
That same story happened to El Caney.
I have not. I don't know where they are. And this has been a couple of years now. And it, all of my stuff is just filthy.
Do you not have any CultCloth?
No, I don't have any. I might have to break down and order some. How would I do it?
I didn't know that you didn't have any. All this whole time I thought that you had some. I did send some to Leander, and then of course his cat ate them or something.
I'm not kidding.
So I sent him another pair.
Into my house.
And then he was like, they really are the best that I've ever used. And I was like, I told you, man. Like, I'm not joking. I will send you some free of charge. All you have to do is pay the shipping and handling charge of $29.99.
Okay.
Anyway,
deal.
But for anyone else who wants to get a pair, head on over to cultcloth.co. Cultcloth.co. Use code CultCast at checkout. You'll score yourself a free 8x8 carry cloth with any order with code CultCast at checkout. Thank you for supporting the product. I think you really will love them. And if you don't, just return them. I'll give you your money back. I'm not trying to rip you off. And yeah, cultcloth.co. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into the show here. Lewis, are you taking the first story? I think that you are. Here it is.
I believe so.
Our best look yet at iPhone 14.
Yeah, headline on this one: new renders show iPhone 14 in all its purported purple glory. You like that alliteration?
That was hard to say. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, so these renders came out this week. They're based on the most reliable leaks yet, and they give us a best look at the upcoming iPhone 14 Pro, show off the pill and hole replacement for the notch at the top of the screen, and the even more bulbous camera hump we've heard of before.
Massive, huge.
These renders come from Ian Zelbo, who works with John Prosser from Front Page Tech on these things. They said they've been working on this for like months. Bonus, the renders also show the phone in purple, which supposedly is going to be, the special color this year to replace Mom's minivan blue.
What is their deal with picking colors for the iPhone Pro models? I really don't understand it. Like, why can they not come up with an interesting color? They're all like these strange pastel colors, like the green pastel. Yeah, something bold.
I want something. I want something that screams when you look at it, not this like namby-pamby.
You want like neon?
Oh, my corporate. it goes perfectly with my corporate look here. My khakis and my blue shirt and my. Come on.
You want the David Lee Roth edition?
Zest.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not talking. I don't need leopard print. I don't need leopard print. Okay.
Well, no one needs leopard print, Lewis.
Like a bright red, a bright orange, even like a fluorescent green. I don't
Dude,
know. I'm sure
I want that beautiful Buster Honey bronze.
You still want bronze.
Even to this day,
bronze on the head, buddy.
I can't stop thinking about it. That mock-up that we saw forever ago, it was so beautiful, and I was so certain that it was going to be what we got, and then it was the second biggest Apple Keynote disappointment of all time. The first being the Apple Watch Series 8 being basically, or the Series 7 basically being the Series 6. But this purple color, this is the one that they go with. It's like, it's not a bad purple, but this is not an exhilarating color to me by any means.
Yeah, and I gotta say, it's bordering on lavender.
It looks lavender, which I know you're a huge fan of. Lavender essential oils.
Maybe they should start, scratch and sniff iPhones. A lavender, when you scratch it, it smells like lavender.
No, that was a great product idea.
Man, I'm
Now, we
just
should
full of
mention,
them.
I don't know if you said this, but these renders are based off of the most accurate like
Wait,
schematic leaks that are out there. So I think this is it. Like, this is pretty much what it's going to look like. And this is going to be the final year of this design. They seem to be on a 3-year cycle with these designs, which makes sense, right? It's a lot of work to come up with a new design. And so this will be it. This is going to be most likely the final form of this design with all the new features they add. Huge, massive cameras in the back.
Yeah,
The
48
pill-shaped stuff
megapixels
on the front.
supposedly.
Some people are saying that they don't like the pill shape on the front, which I don't get. I think it's much cleaner than the notch. It's nice just to have a little hole punch design there. So personally, I kind of like it.
I wanted to talk about that, and that's one of the things that Prosser was talking about in this video. He's saying like, and I think he's right. The real reason, or the only real reason, is to distinguish it. Just like the phone looks so much like last year's and the year before that the only way that you'll be able to like signify that you've got the latest, greatest, most expensive iPhone ever is the pill hole.
Yeah.
And you know, I to me it doesn't make any sense. I think just stick with the notch. The Mac has a notch. It's become an Apple thing. It's that's what an iPhone looks like.
Yeah, but that design language is going away, man. It's so old and tired. No one wants a notch anymore. Like, if you could have a tiny little pinhole design that gets the job done, I mean, for me, that would be much preferred than having that big giant notch in your face.
I like those ones that had just a single tiny hole right in the center. Those looked good to me.
Oh,
but
yeah.
The pill hole, I don't know, man.
Well, they got to fit all the camera and stuff in there.
Yeah,
so,
I
and
understand they need to do something, but to me, it looks like a step backward. I mean, I think the notch actually looked better. And I mean, can you imagine being like a UI designer constantly, like every size and shape and version, and now you got to do one with a notch and one without a notch? And I mean, maybe it doesn't make any difference for an app designer. I don't know, but it just seems like it gets overly complicated the more variables they put. The more different model sizes they have to produce something for, aspect ratios and all that.
Yeah, someone was just saying that they hope that Apple allows you to do something with the space above like the holes up here. I'm kind of guessing it will just be screen space, but they're not going to allow you to put icons or anything up there. I don't think. There's not going to be that
tiny
much...
icons like the ones on the Apple Watch.
What's that?
Ooh, little tiny ones like the ones on the Apple Watch.
I wouldn't
like
be
so
opposed
small.
to that. I just feel like they're going to want to have some clear space around that hole, and they're not going to want to jam cram it with icons and stuff. But we'll see. We don't have. Yeah.
Should we talk about what else we supposedly know about iPhone 14 Pro?
Sure.
Really
yeah.
quick.
Well, we should give the breakdown because I think that some people probably haven't heard exactly what we're expecting.
Yeah. So 48 megapixel camera. Bigger. I believe you're seeing like a slightly longer telephoto lens. 7x instead of 6x.
Yep.
All that's going to make the camera hump supposedly 5% thicker, which is not a lot, but it's already pretty big.
It's huge. It's massive. To make it bigger is absurd.
Supposedly the Pro model is also going to get the A16 processor, as opposed to this cracked me up. It's the iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Max, which Prosser calls poor people models. I don't know. I got a chuckle when I hear. Anyway, supposedly those will keep the notch.
I don't think any of the phones are going to be for poor people, to be honest with you, especially with the price increase.
I think he's joking.
Yeah.
Keep the notch. 12 megapixel camera. It's in iPhone 13, and also those ones probably going to come with the same processor. Another whoops.
Dude, I know that no one cares about this. I'm sorry to be a broken record. I just find that to be absurd. Like the fact that Apple is going to sell the regular. Now we don't know this for sure, but it seems from all the rumors and leaks that we've heard that they are going to just make the regular iPhone model the same as the iPhone 13. And I think that's a weird move. I think that you're just repackaging it with a different color or something and giving it some software changes to make it a little bit better, but selling the same phone. I think that's wild, man. And then especially with the price increases, they're probably going to have price increases across the board.
One thing that I just kind of glossed over there, I mean, and maybe people already know this, but iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Max is what people are saying these are going to be called. And, no more mini. Now it's going to be size parity with the Pro line, regular size and extra large. So we'll see. Yeah,
man. And it's also going to have the better front-facing camera, which I was just reading. The
All
analysts say
right.
that it's going to have it's going to cost Apple like 3 times more than the current front-facing camera, and it's not going to have a fixed focal length. Like it will actually be adjustable, so you create some like real actual bokeh behind you. That's a cool feature. I know that you call it narcissism mode because you're rude. You're a rude dude. But I actually think that's a really cool feature. I mean, if you use the front-facing camera a lot, which that's the camera that most people use the most often, I would imagine.
Really?
Yeah, especially like for me, man, I'm trying to take pictures with my kids so that when I croak, they're like, yeah, look how cool Dad was. Like, look how buff he was. We had no idea. You gotta have images with your kids, and the only way to do that is like with the arm out selfie mode. And so I that's the camera that I use the most often. Well, maybe not. I probably use them both equally, but still, I mean, having a much better camera up front with high resolution and then an actual moving lens so that you can create like actual blur behind you. I think that's a really cool feature personally.
Yeah, can't tell you. I bet you
You try to avoid pictures of yourself.
I've probably only taken 5 selfies in my life, and when I do, it's like, oh, I need to document how swollen my eye is, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, right. Like the other day when you thought it was gonna have to be removed.
Yeah, all that kind of crap,
And then the other big feature, of course, which we're not sure this is going to happen, but it seems like it might, and I think this would be a really cool feature, is the always-on display. So let's see here. It's going to work just like the Apple Watch. They are expecting that that Apple's going to make changes to the display so they can bring the refresh rate down to like 1 hertz. So that essentially you're just looking at a static image on your phone, and they can always just have the image displayed there so that you can see whatever they want to show, like the time or icons, maybe some information about like the battery life or something. And this expectation is coming from Ross Young, who is an analyst with like a really accurate track record. And he's not saying that it's confirmed, but he was tweeting that he does expect it to happen, which I think makes a lot of sense because they're not changing the form factor of the body. And this is like the 3rd year of this same design. It's kind of getting tired. They're gonna have to spice it up somehow to make it make it something that people are willing to pay the extra money for, especially since we're expecting $100 price increases, I think, pretty much across the line. And then of course, like if you're agitated by that fact and you don't want to spend the extra money, the FOMO is going to kick in big time when you realize that the shipping times are slipping faster this round than they were before because Apple's having manufacturing problems just like everyone else. I was just reading the other day that the Studio Display is now not shipping until August.
Yep.
For the Studio Display. That was the
nuts,
one
man.
product that Apple seemed to actually have in abundance, and now they can't even get that out the door in time. And if you want the Mac or the Mac Studio with the M1 Ultra, I mean, you better put your order in now because you probably won't get it until they announce the Mac Studio with M2 Ultra.
I know. Can you imagine placing an order with that much lead time, and you're like, well, how many models are going to come out before I receive it?
Yeah, it's wild that we're
nuts.
this far in, and you still can't even get your hands on one. But you know what? That's been the story in the industry for lots of different products. For Xbox and PlayStations, I mean, you can't even get a PlayStation still. I don't even know how long it's been since they released it. Like the PlayStation 5, you cannot find it anywhere.
Wow.
And the Xbox, they have started to get more availability recently, and you can find them at like Walmart and Best Buy and stuff. But up until I think 2 months ago, you couldn't find an Xbox anywhere. So and don't even get me started on like GPUs, like graphics cards for like PCs. Dude, I don't even know how people buy them. I mean, unless you buy them from a scalper, you can't get them anywhere. They have the supply chain has started easing up on those a little bit more recently as well, but they're still hard to come by. You never get them for MSRP. You always have to spend like 20-30% more than the MSRP to actually get one of those cards. So it's kind of happening, all over the place, and surprisingly, it hasn't been hurting Apple as much as you would have thought it would. But it seems like that's finally starting to catch up with Apple. So even if they raise the price, it won't matter because people will have that FOMO kick in and they'll, go buy those phones anyway. Anyway, let's see here. I think that says everything that we have to say about iPhone 14 Pro. So we'll include the links to these stories in the show notes, of course, if you want to check out the renders for yourself. You can also go watch the front page tech video if you want to see all of the renders made by Ian Zobo. He probably is one of the most talented or well-known, I don't even know how to describe it, mock-up creators that are out there.
Render artist?
Render
Concept
artist? Yeah,
concept artist,
art.
maybe.
Yeah, maybe concept artist. That sounds good. And his stuff,
Although,
I mean, it looks real, man. Like, you're looking at this render, and it's like, this looks like the real thing. And I think this is it. I think this is exactly what we're gonna be seeing Apple talk about on stage. Wouldn't it be funny if this was like the same color purple too, and this actually was what they announced on stage? That would be hilarious.
what if it comes out and it's the redesign that we were expecting last year?
That would be mind blowing.
So
So like the redesign that
glue his
processor.
eyebrows on.
Yeah. Oh man. That's the other thing too. It's like processor. Look. I love John Prosser. This is no slight towards him, but like he had two predictions, one for the Apple Watch and then one for this phone. And if this phone comes out looking like this, then that means that leak. Do you remember that leak that he had that came out right as the iPhone 13 was coming out, and people were like worried about his safety because they're like, Apple's going to take this guy out, right? And if it ends up being incorrect, like that's another big miss by him. It just makes me think that whoever was giving him this information might have been like just trying to troll him, and or it might have been Apple. Like maybe even Apple was trying to like lead him off the case.
Smoke him out.
Dude, I think
Smoke
that
out his
Apple may
sword.
actually do that. Like they send like their moles out there to try to figure out where the leaks are coming from, or they try to mislead people who have reputations for being accurate so that it kind of like damages their reputation or something. TC is probably all about
surprise
that
me.
espionage, you know? He's all about
He's got a giant spreadsheet.
yeah, right.
Yeah, what rumor has been leaked to who by whom?
Yeah.
And
He's probably got like a giant board in his office
And
too with a yarn connecting everything, right?
and he's got a plan.
Oh yeah.
That's the scariest part of it. He's got a plan.
If there's one thing we know about TC, he's got a plan. It's like in The Hunt for Red October, where they're talking about the Russians, and they're like, the Ruskies don't take a dump without a plan, son. That's TC, man. He's got a plan for everything, and he's all about executing those plans and executing you if you leak too much. All right, let's move on. But before we do, let's talk about you want to talk about the giveaway, because this is actually a real cool one.
This is a hot one.
This is a hot one. I
Yeah.
thought it was cool.
I want to enter this thing too. This week's Cult of Mac giveaway is a 3-in-1 MagSafe travel charger from Mophie. Compact charger, perfect for anyone with a busy schedule who's on the go. You can charge multiple devices simultaneously, and it all folds up into a little tiny, I don't know what size it is. It's a little bigger than a coaster,
little
but
puck, yeah.
it's pretty small. It's 3-in-1 charger that can charge an iPhone, an Apple Watch, and AirPods all at once, or if you wanted to charge like a second phone or something, so the AirPods. Comes with a handy travel pouch to keep everything securely together, including the included USB-C cable and adapter. Comes with that.
Nice.
It retails for $149.99. We're giving away 3 of them. You can enter by going to cultofmac.com, scrolling down to the giveaway section of the homepage. I know you don't get sidetracked by the amazing content on there.
Yeah,
Just
I know.
Just grimace and scroll by.
Head straight to the bottom.
Get down to the giveaway area. Click on that. Go in there. You can enter. Multiple ways to enter. It's free to enter. You can enter multiple times. Get multiple entries. You got a shot.
You got a
shot.
You got a shot. Go in there and enter. This is a cool one too. This might be one of the favorites that I've seen us do. This is a really well-designed product from Mophie. Hats off to Mophie for this industrial design here. It makes a lot of sense. It all just folds right up. It charges all your devices, and it looks good. It even comes with this little sleek minimalist case on the outside of it. So, what's the value on this, Lewis? Do you remember?
$149.99.
$150.
I haven't actually used this product or seen this product, but I mean, I can tell you that something like that is exactly what I would love to take on the road, because
Me too.
Every time I'm traveling, it's like, finding this cord and that cable and this power adapter, oh my God. Every time it just seems like it's especially now that it's like half lightning, half USB-C. Yeah, oh my
It's
God.
such a mess, man. Yeah, I would.
This
That's
thing
one of the
looks
reasons
ideal.
why I would love to see them just go to USB-C, because there's just too many charging interfaces with Apple products. It's just too much. I just wish the Apple Watch you could charge on like your Qi charger. That would solve a lot of problems for me
Right,
personally.
that's true.
You know,
And this thing, you can flip that thing up. You can either lay it flat on the ground or you can flip it up in nightstand mode. So, for the Apple Watch. So it looks like a really great product. I mean, maybe we can get one of those into review.
that would be nice. Send it to me. I'll talk about it on the show, and also keep it.
I don't think I have your address. I'll just give them mine. And then,
Oh yeah, it sounds like you've got enough stuff in your office to review that has just sitting there gathering, layers of dust. So maybe you should send it my way. So yeah, that's the Cultimac giveaway this week. You can head to cultimac.com, scroll to the bottom, you'll see the giveaway, and then also you can just check the show notes where I will include a link. So go in there and just enter. You never know what will happen, but you got a shot. I'll put it that way. Let's see here. I'm trying to pay attention to the comments as well, but they're so far away. My goodness. I gotta figure out a new... somebody was saying that if they raise the prices... I'm looking for your comment. If they raise the prices on the iPhones, they hope that Apple gives us more iCloud storage for free. And to that I say...
well, if you were a good Apple product user, you'd already have an Apple One premium subscription.
Well, I might have to get one. So this is a total tangent, but I have been thinking about this a lot here because I'm butting up against the upper limits of the iCloud storage products that they have available, right? So I have 2 terabytes, and I'm at like 1.6 terabytes right now, right? And I was reading what you can do if you run out of space, and the only thing that they will let you do is you have to buy an Apple One subscription, and then they will let you use the extra storage space for your iCloud account, right? For your iCloud storage account. So now you're paying for the Apple One subscription, and you're paying for additional iCloud storage. It's a scam, man.
I thought 2 terabytes was the maximum from
It
iCloud.
It is for the iCloud storage plan. But
that's what you get with the One.
Yes, but you can combine them.
Oh, so you can have 4?
You can have them both at the same time.
Oh, I did
so
not
let's
know
see
that.
here. If you go to let's see here, the Apple One. Let's see here. I'm trying to pull up some marketing stuff. Right, here we go. Okay, so there's the Apple One account, right? And this pairs together Apple Music, Apple TV Plus, Apple Arcade, iCloud Plus, Apple News Plus, Apple Fitness, all the stuff, right? And let's see here. Do they have prices right? Okay, so if you get an individual plan, it's $15 a month, and you get 50 gigabytes of storage, iCloud storage with that. The family plan is $20 a month. You get 200 gigabytes with that. And then if you want 2 terabytes of storage, then you pay $30 a month. And you can combine any of these plans with the iCloud storage plan that you already pay for. So that's the only way to get additional storage. Which is kind of a scam, dude, cuz like Apple could just give you it's possible for them to give you a little bit extra storage, 200 gigabytes, 2 terabytes, what have you, but they don't have a plan available for iCloud to do that. So the only way to do it is to subscribe to Amazon's services, which I think is pretty uncool. I hope they change their policy on this. Because, 2 terabytes, if you store all your videos, all your 4K videos and everything in the cloud, you're going to run out of space eventually. Like, I've been doing it for years, maybe 5 years now, maybe longer. But I take a lot of videos, I take a lot of photos, and like I'm almost out of space. And this is my only other option, is to go from paying $10 a month for 2 terabytes to paying $40 a month for 4 terabytes.
Just, self-serving here. A lot of times, Cultimac Deals has offers where you can get like 10 terabytes for life. And it's always for like, $69 or something. I don't know how easy it is to use something that.
How much is it?
I think it varies, right?
Did
it's
you
a
say
deal here, a deal there?
69, dude.
Oh my God! I thought you were being serious for a moment there. But
you just set me up. You set me up for the dunk on that one, and you didn't even know it.
Oh God. Okay.
Sorry. Go ahead, Lewis. Did I throw you off your train of thought?
My mind is completely boggled.
Okay, but here's the thing about paying for storage that's outside of the Apple ecosystem is what good does it do you? You know what I mean? So we got Level Remix saying, why not go NAS? I have a NAS, right? But it doesn't connect your photos and your videos to your iPhone and your iPad and your Mac the way the Apple iCloud storage does, right? So you lose functionality. Like if I just needed safe storage, then I would just store everything on my NAS. And that's great. But then how do I share it easily with my friends and family? So all my family has Apple stuff, right? And I can share photos easily from everywhere and they know how to use it. Like my older mom and dad know how to use all that stuff. So it makes it harder to share with people, which keeps you locked into the iCloud storage thing, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's probably the easiest, but I mean, a lot of these things they do say that they have easy methods for sharing links with other people and things like that. I mean, it's not a problem for me. I don't shoot that much video, but I can easily see how he could. Because I mean, I do take a lot of pictures, and it is getting close to that 2 terabytes. I mean, not dangerously close, but kind of close.
And it's been so long since Apple has created the plans for iCloud. It's been years. Like I feel like it's time, man. You need to increase the storage space for your iCloud storage plans. I think you just need to double them all.
I bet
honestly.
they do it. Because I mean, they keep putting out these phones that take higher and higher resolution video. I mean, come on.
Well,
give us a break.
Hence my conclusion that it's kind of a scam. It's like I don't mean it's actually a scam, but it feels scammy because they keep giving you these phones with these higher and higher resolutions. I mean, we're expecting 8K video on the iPhone 14. And where are you going to store that video? In iCloud. And yet they're not going to raise the storage limits in iCloud to handle your 8K video. So what do you have to do? You got to give Apple more money for subscriptions. I feel like they know that you need more space, but they're not going to just double your iCloud subscription storage space because they can get more money from you if they don't. Which
maybe
I don't know if that's true, but that's the way it feels.
Can't afford to install another couple of servers in the farm.
Yeah, just toss a couple more servers in there, would you, TC? Golly gee willikers. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about Apple Studio Display. And you're going to love this story. If you just spent a bunch of money on the Apple Studio Display, you're going to love this story. You spent $1,600. The panel is the same one from the iMac. You felt like it was kind of a ripoff, but you're like, hey, what else is out there? I'm not spending $6,000 on the XDR. I know that much. Well, check out this story, my bros. Studio Display Pro with gorgeous mini LED screen could launch this fall. And if that doesn't give you some serious gastrointestinal distress, I don't know what will. So an enhanced version of the Apple Studio Display will reach customers this fall, according to a very reliable source of info. And this was Ross Young, the accurate Apple analyst that we spoke of before, who has a very good track record. And he's saying that the version of the monitor will have a mini LED screen, making it look better than the current model that has a standard LCD display. And he previously thought that this display was going to come this summer, but now he thinks it's probably going to be launching in October, probably because of supply chain issues. And I don't know what to make of this, man. Like this story, it almost seems like it's like it can't be true. Like how could Apple release the Studio Display and then only months later release another one? But the thing is if they do release this, it's going to be way higher priced. It's going to probably be, I mean, the XDR display is what, $5,000 without the stand. So this one would probably be, $3,000, $2,500 or something. Probably closer to $3,000, maybe even like $3,500. And it's going to have all the same qualities of the Pro XDR display, except it's going to be 27 inches. It'll be 5K instead of 6K. What do you think about this, Lewis?
It's all too rich for my blood, so I don't think about it too much at all, to be quite honest. I just I don't even know if I want to have that good of a display, because I'm sure once I get it, then I'll be constantly annoyed by how bad my other display is, because it's kind of watery. When I look at the MacBook, it looks beautiful. When I look at my screen that I stare at all day, it looks kind of crappy. So this is like such a rarefied area. It's just not even my bailiwick. I don't even have an opinion.
Oh man, the Studio Display does look beautiful, and on paper it doesn't look great. I realize that, and I think that for its price, you should have gotten more than what they gave us. I think that's definitely true.
They can't even produce enough of them, so supply and demand. They should cost more.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if the reason that it is not able to they're not able to keep enough of them in stock is because demand is high, or the fact that they just can't produce enough of them because supply chain issues, right?
Supply and demand.
Yeah, but eventually the demand or the supply chain is going to fix itself, and they're going to have a lot
Let's
more
hope
of
so.
these. You know,
Let's
yeah, well,
hope so.
yeah. I mean, assuming we aren't at the end here, but yeah, I was this is the monitor that I wanted. So people are saying that it's going to have ProMotion 120 hertz refresh rate. I actually don't think that it will. I think the max will be 60 hertz because from all the research I've done, they actually can't push 5K resolution and 120 hertz over Thunderbolt 4 because it doesn't have enough bandwidth. So I don't think that you'll get 120 hertz. I think the max you'll get will be 60 hertz. They have the same mini LED display in the MacBook Pro and on the 12.9 inch iPad Pro, but those connections to those devices don't use Thunderbolt 4. They are, they're internal. They're connected directly to the motherboard using like PCIe or something. I don't know what they use. So they have much more bandwidth. So I think that's the reason why the MacBook Pro can have 120 hertz display. I don't think that this monitor will, if this monitor even comes out in October. But if it does come out in October, I just want to give you a heads up because I know some of you were considering getting the Mac or the Studio display, and it is a beautiful monitor. I do think it's overpriced, but it is a nice display. But if you have this one coming down the pipe and you can spend, it's not going to be a little bit more. It will be a lot more. But if it's HDR and it also has mini LED and way better contrast ratio, I think that might be worth it for a lot of us. But there you go. The Studio Display Pro looks like it's coming down the pipe sometime this fall, probably end of summer, fall. So if you're looking for a new monitor, this might be your next one. Talking about hotly anticipated products here, Lewis. This might be one of my all-time most hotly anticipated products right here.
Yeah.
And you get the honor of talking about it, and I'll just sit here and nod enthusiastically.
Headline on this one is, what could be in store for the return of the big HomePod? ?
What a question.
Yeah. So Apple plans to produce an updated version of the HomePod as soon as the fourth quarter of 2022. That's coming up real fast, by the way.
It's soon.
Or the first quarter of 2023. And this is coming from supply chain analyst Ming-Chi Kuo. We know him to be a very reliable Apple analyst guy. He's got his finger on the pulse of the supply chain.
Mm-hmm.
Comes up with all this stuff. This particular tweet is rather cryptic. I'll just read it. He says, Apple would release a new version of HomePod in 4Q22, 1Q23.
Mm-hmm.
He always talks in those things. And there may not be much innovation in hardware design. Smart speakers are undoubtedly one of the essential elements of the home ecosystem, but I think Apple is still figuring out how to succeed in this market. Yeah, I'd say that's accurate. So what this did is triggered everybody thinking about, like, okay, well, a new version of the HomePod. What does that mean? Does that mean an update of the original? Does that mean an update of the Mini? Does that mean a midsize? Does it mean some weird configuration? There's been a lot of rumors that Apple's working on all these things, right? All different kinds of variations of the HomePod.
Right.
The most recent one that sounds most sort of in line with this is that it would be like a mid-size HomePod between the two that would be able to be produced at a price that's not quite as off-putting as the. What would it end up at? $299 for the HomePod. Came out at $349. They had to drop it to $299. So somewhere between the $249 and the the $99 of the HomePod Mini. And I mean, who knows? I personally, I would just wish they'd bring back the original, or at least something that good or better. Bigger, better. I mean, because that's on the borderline of being not quite as loud as you would like, right?
The minis or the
no,
original?
the original is, even as a pair, you could sometimes imagine that being louder and better.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So
I mean, I never really had problems volume wise with mine, but that was a common complaint that I heard from people is that it just didn't get loud enough, and I think that's probably true.
I mean, it's It's close.
But dude,
And
they
mimosas.
pack the thunder. They pack the thunder.
They
I
did
mean,
it. I love it.
even now when I watch content, so I have my HomePods in stereo mode in front of my TV, and even now, just the grumble that those things put out during scenes with like spaceships flying over. I just watched the new Riddick, and by the new Riddick, I mean like the one that came out like 7 years ago. But I finally saw. I actually love the Chronicles of Riddick. Like those are like some of my favorite sci-fi movies. They're so, some parts are so cheesy, but I love them, man. There was like a scene with a spaceship flying over, and I call it the gurg, the deep gurgle. It's like as the thing like flies over, and of course it moves across the screen, and then like the sound moves with it. I mean, the HomePods, look, you guys,
They are awesome for that.
They're awesome, man. They
that
just
sort of surround sound, fake surround sound that they do is awesome.
I really cannot believe that Apple canceled the HomePod. I mean, that was such a bad idea. But again, I think that they created something that was too beautiful to live. I mean, they just people, they were too good, and the price on them was too high, and most people just don't have the level of taste that those of us creating this podcast and those of you watching and listening have to really put your money into a product that is of a high caliber. Like most people want to buy something that's just cheap. And if you're listening to this, that's probably not you. Like, you've heard that old saying, buy once, cry once, right? It's like, that was the way that I was raised. Like you buy something that is really high quality. It might cost you more up front, but over the life of the product, it's actually costing you less because it's going to last longer and it's going to serve you with purpose the entire time that you own it. And that was the HomePod, man. And that's why I think that Apple canceled it, because most people are like, oh, I don't get it. Why don't I spend $300 on a HomePod? I can buy an Echo. And it's like, dude, I compared the Amazon Echo Studio to the HomePod. I have a video on my YouTube channel, and dude, it's just sound quality wise, they're not the same product. They're just not the same product. The Echo Studio sounds good, but it does not sound like a HomePod. Like the HomePod was custom crafted by audio artisans. Like the tweeters were all custom made. Everything about it was built with love by people who were experts in their craft. And that's the way it sounded. It just had like this beautiful sheen to the audio that you just don't hear in other places. See, I said I wasn't going to go on and on about the HomePod.
Is the Echo Studio, is that the one that looks kind of like a loaf of bread or something?
The Echo Studio. No, it kind of looked like the HomePod. Honestly, it's. Let me see if I can find it. It looked like the HomePod on the top, and then it had like this weird like slot in the middle to, I think, give space to the air coming out of the woofer. Echo Studio, and it sounded good. But again, didn't sound nearly as good as the HomePod. Yeah, there it is. So I'm showing a picture of it. You can go on Amazon and search Echo Studio if you want to see what it looked like. And it was a good looking speaker for sure, but it
oh yeah, okay.
It wasn't as good as the HomePod.
I think one of the things that I think people kind of overlook in all this, we've talked about this, several times, right? The HomePod, why did it fail? Whatever. A big part of it was just how late they were to the game.
Yeah.
So many people already had 1 or 2 or 10 little Echo speakers or bigger Echo speakers. And people also bought Sonos stuff, right? People bought because people want audio stuff, especially home theater stuff. People really wanted it. And they were just so late to the party, even though the product is better. It's like, and then they kill it before people's stuff has a chance to wear out. It's weird. It's like they brought it in late. It was better. It was more expensive. People didn't want to upgrade because they already had something. But, what's the lifespan on an Echo? I mean, I've had those things crap out.
You have? Actually, mine have lasted forever. I still have the original Echo.
My original one died. And they're like, oh, well, we can, I called the support people or whatever. And like, oh, well, we can definitely check and make sure you can order a new one. I'm like, oh, can you really?
We can
really
sell
fantastic.
you a replacement Echo for the full retail price. It's only $159.99. That's always an option for you.
I can go into Amazon.com and order a replacement. Okay, yes, please hold my hand. I need help with that. So much help.
So hold on, let's get back to the HomePod story here. So the part that we left out is we got the Germinator. And he was saying that he thinks that Apple is considering a new medium-sized version of the HomePod. So here's the thing about this story, right? So Quo comes out and he says that he thinks Apple is creating a new version of the HomePod. Now listen to what he says. He says a new version of the HomePod. To me, that rules out HomePod Mini, because what are they going to do to the HomePod Mini besides change the color, right? Like that product is, I think, going to be around a while in its current form. And so if they're creating a new version of the HomePod, to me that sounds like something that is different than the current version that exists, which is the HomePod Mini. Like they're going to be creating something that's different. And we don't know if it's going to be big or small, but he said a new version of the HomePod and not the HomePod Mini. So that makes me think that we are going to get something that is larger. And Apple is probably going to rethink their strategy for the HomePod so that they can release something that is more competitive. And that's what I'm hoping for. Anyway, hold on a second. I just realized I'm still on the Echo Studio page. You're going to love this, Lewis.
Yeah?
They have, let me bring this up. I just saw this. They have the Billie Eilish limited edition Echo Studio. And it is exactly what it sounds like. It is an Echo Studio wrapped with a mural of Billie Eilish. And her signature is on the top.
I mean,
and she's like there, like showing
how-
like her bare shoulder, looking very forlorn.
How different is that from a U2 iPod?
No, it's
I
not.
mean,
it's not. But it's you
cool.
too.
I mean,
and Billie Eilish is Billie Eilish. You know?
I hear she's popular.
Yeah, and so we got Torkill Duar. Dude, I hope that's your real name. Torkill. And all tan. Like it's a tan speaker. Now that's a bold choice. It's like, what color should we go with?
Beige.
How about pleated pants tan? People love that color.
What is with that slot?
Well, I think that's the air escape. So you can be blasted by Billie Eilish's hot air.
Jeez.
If you get close enough to it, you can even imagine she's singing right to you. You'll feel the air blasts right in your face.
Does it have that on both sides?
Yeah, it goes through the entire thing.
Huh.
Like kind of a interesting design, huh?
You'd think that maybe they would have put the screen print not on that side of the speaker. Just swivel everything a quarter.
Well, it's I think it covers most of the speaker though. So like you have less space on the speaker to put an image where that doesn't exist. Anyway, that's pretty funny. I wonder if they have
Weird.
different editions that they do with different artists.
I gotta say,
Billie Eilish holding her Billie Eilish speaker.
it's kind of a cool idea. I applaud them.
You
And
think it's a cool
cost-
idea?
yeah, don't you? I mean, absolutely.
Well, look, I don't think it's a bad idea. I just think that putting Billie Eilish on it. I mean, look, I'm not of the generation, obviously, that grew up with Billie Eilish, so I don't even know if I could tell you one of her songs. So that's probably what I'm missing here.
She's successful.
I hear she's successful. Yeah, but I would love to see them do like I mean, look, if they put a picture of Bono on here, I'm buying two.
Oh my God. Frank Zappa version.
Frank Zappa, dude. Are there any Zappa fans left?
Oh yeah.
Come on.
He's ripe for a renaissance.
I don't even know if I could tell you a Zappa song. Maybe
How about one with Ozzy Osbourne's face on it?
That'd be cool.
And the eyes follow you around the room. Like one of those haunted castle photos.
You know what I want? I want a John Denver. I want a John Denver Echo Studio. It's just him with his 70s haircut, smiling, holding like some like Ovation guitar. Like what was the deal with? Do you know anything about Ovation guitars, Lewis?
The deal with them?
Yeah.
You mean with the plastic round back?
Yeah. So like for those of you that don't know, like Ovation became
this is
popular guitar
extreme
style.
tangent.
Yeah, I know. Ovations became like this popular guitar in, I would say, the 70s. Is that accurate? And they were like normal guitars, except on the front they looked like they were made of wood, but the backs were actually like rounded plastic. And they got really huge, and they had like this really weird this head design.
Right.
And everybody had them in the 70s. They were all over the place.
There was a reason for that.
Why is
It
that?
was because they were electric acoustic.
Oh, is that
They
why?
had built-in electric sound reproduction. They sounded good live, instead of like using a guitar with a microphone in front of it, an acoustic guitar in a rock band, the opportunities for feedback are, great, right? So that was what was so great about the Ovation. It had the ability to reproduce the acoustic sound. So you could do, your heavy metal power ballad intro, right? And then with the other guitars in the band, right? Without
Okay, that's
having
the
a
piece
live
I was
mic.
missing. All right, so that's why they were popular. And also, you should know I'm on the Ovation website, and they say these handmade USA built guitars represent the pinnacle of guitar making. Forget Taylor, forget Martin. Ovation.
Advanced composite bodies and carbon
Advanced
tops.
composite bodies. I
Yeah,
mean, you could just see John Denver holding one of these and singing Rocky Mountain High.
I owned one of those. In fact,
I did too.
I may
I did
still own
too.
I'm going to go dig through the pile of guitars and see if I can find it, put some new strings on it, and record a power ballad.
Oh man, you're all about those power ballads. I've seen your power slide. Man, that thing is so graceful. And you made it like 10 or 12 feet. I don't know how you do that. All right, let's
go.
This is just absolutely as bad as it gets for tangents. Let's move on.
Man, the tangent.
All right, let's see here. I think that's it for Apple News. Let's go ahead and wrap up with an all new Under Review, the segment where we talk about products that we're testing. I got a fun one for you guys this week, and I'm going to start off with a a disclaimer. This product is probably not going to be for everyone. Okay, I think that Anker has a great product on their hands here, but it's a tough sell because not everyone wants to have a product like this. So what am I talking about? I'm getting ahead of myself here. I have in my hands the Anker SoundCore Frames. And let me see if I can turn my camera zoom on or my focus on here so you guys can actually see these things up close. Yeah. Is that working? Kind of. There we go.
Oh, there
we go. How's that looking?
Yeah. There you go.
So these are a pair of audio sunglasses. And actually, I think they have a pair of frames that you can just put normal glasses into. And so they have like these speakers that are built into the stems of the sunglasses. I know this sounds wacky. I know for a lot of people, they're like, why would you want this? It's for people like me who love having ethereal audio. And we had this conversation a while ago about the toilet seats that go over your neck with the speakers in them, right? And they have these speakers that you can wear around your neck from Sony and from Bose. And the idea is you place them around your neck, and then you don't have to wear headphones or earphones or anything. And then the music just blasts up to your head, and you can wear them on bike rides and on walks. And I think that I might be in this strange class of people that really likes ethereal audio products. Like when I'm walking around outside, when I'm on bike rides, I don't mind wearing my AirPods, but I prefer to not have anything in my ears. And that's what these things do. They connect to your smartphone, your iPhone, your iPad, whatever, and then they broadcast. They have some like tiny speakers built in here. I don't know if I can show this. They have these tiny speakers that are built into the frames. Yeah, there you go. And you can see they just blast audio right into your ear. And they come in a multitude of designs. And the way this works is like these stems have like this, I think it's like a proprietary connection. And you just like, hold on, you just pull them off. And so you can pull them off of the actual glasses and then put new glasses onto the fronts. And they sent me a whole bunch of designs. They make them in all these styles, and some of the styles I actually really like. Like I like the styles that I have here. They're kind of like a peach colored acetate. And the other thing that I just found out, because like when I first got these, I was like, man, I really wish like these were polarized. And then I went and looked at the box. They are polarized. They're all polarized. So they're really high quality sunglasses on the front. And they do a good job at eliminating glare and stuff. So they're not like some cheap sunglasses attached to like some speakers. Like it's not a gimmick. It's like they really put a lot of thought and design into this product. And they work very seamlessly with your Apple products. I mean, you can even see the battery meter for the SoundCore frames on your iPhone, so you can see how much battery life is left, which, by the way, they hardly ever need to be charged. Like I charge them maybe once a week. I wear them all the time. They last forever. I don't know exactly what the number is, but I probably charge them maybe once a week. And when I charge them, they usually have like 20, 30% battery life left. And as soon as you take them off, they go into sleep mode, so they don't use battery power. And then when you put them on, let me see here. You might be able to hear it. No, can't hear anything. How do I look, by the way?
Oh man, so
Look
cool.
Cool looking sunglasses, right? And so they connect when you put them on your face, and then they just broadcast your audio, directly to your ears. And I love them, man. Like I wear them when I'm outside. I've been wearing them on bike rides and stuff. And I was telling Lewis, I don't know if this is pre-show, but I was saying like they've actually replaced my AirPods in certain scenarios. Like when I go outside, when I go on drives, when I'm riding my bike, I usually wear these instead of wearing my AirPods because I just like having the ethereal audio. And also now I have sunglasses with me as well. And they've got some designs that I really like. Like they have these ones, which I showed you. And let me see here.
You don't have to worry about the AirPod popping out and falling down a drain.
Or falling into your toilet. I don't even know if this is like all the I Cave Davis saying you need some Dr. Disrespect style ones. Yeah. So they've got a bunch of different designs that they sent me. They probably sent me like freaking $300, $400 worth of designs here.
How much is each set of sunglasses cost?
I think they're $50, which for a pair of high quality polarized sunglasses, I sound like I'm shilling for them. Like I'm not. They didn't pay me to say any of this. They did send these to me for free, which people always say doesn't affect your opinion. I think it does. But I actually genuinely do like them, and I think $50 for a pair of high quality polarized sunglasses is actually not very much. Like my Ray-Bans that I routinely wear cost like $150, right? So paying $50 just for the front parts, I actually don't think is all that unreasonable. These kind of look like the Ray-Ban Wayfarer sunglasses that I normally wear. They sent me, I guess these ones are pretty similar. And again, all of them polarized, right? So you get really high quality optical on all of these different sunglasses. I'm holding up some clear ones with black lenses. Oh, here we go, Lewis. Now, I know this is your style because I know you're all about the Biden sunglasses. You like that Biden style. Here you go. Here's the Biden aviators right there. So you can.
I'm gonna call them the Hunter S. Thompson aviators because
Okay.
that's the classic.
Well, there's one thing for sure. When you're wearing these, you can see the stairs clearly when you're coming in and out of the plane. So these would help you navigate that scenario expertly. Sorry. And then wait a second, IK Dave. This might be what we were looking for here. This is kind of like Dr. Disrespect-ish, isn't it?
Or they just purple?
They just need some like mirror finish. Anyway, I realize this is kind of a unique product. And like I said, I think that Anker has a kind of a tough sell on their hands because I think a lot of people are like, well, why would I want sunglasses that play audio? Like everyone I've talked to about these thought it was kind of like a wacky, zany idea. But the thing is like once you use them and you're like, oh, this is actually really nice because now I don't have to put anything in my ears. I can wear them outside. I can wear them when I'm out and about. They're really great for podcasts. I mean, they sound good. I wouldn't say they sound as good as AirPods do because they're not inside your ears, but they sound really good, and you can definitely listen to music on them. But what I've been using them for is like listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, and that type of thing. They have great range that you can get super far away from your phone. And I think one of the other things I wanted to mention was just how well designed this product is. Like, they're really well thought out, and the industrial design is good. The product quality is really good. They integrate super tightly with your Apple devices, and the experience is just really good. So anyway, the SoundCore Frames. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to ask you like, what do you thought of the audio quality? I got to try these out before they launched them, and it didn't sound. It definitely doesn't sound as good as AirPods.
No.
And for me, it's a no. Aside from like getting some with prescriptions put in, it's impossible because I can't see without glasses. Right. So I would not be able to use this product. But I think that for podcasts, it would be unbelievably great. And actually with music, it does have a kind of a almost like a HomePod-y kind of like shimmery sound around your ears, right? I mean, it's nowhere near as good as a HomePod, obviously, because it's tiny little speakers right by your ears. But it's just like you're kind of cocooned in that little audio,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
It's
and you still have total situational awareness. So like when you're like, I wore these on my bike to see if they would work because you have like the wind noise and everything, and they did. The one complaint I do have about these is I wish they got louder. Like they just don't get loud
right.
enough in some scenarios because you don't have anything in your ears blocking
Mhm.
sound. And so I found oftentimes, especially with YouTube videos, because people publish their videos with different volume levels, and
Right.
some videos sound super loud and they're fine, and then some of them are really low, and these just don't get loud enough to, boost that audio up. So that's kind of like my only complaints about these. But and then they don't sound as good as AirPods. But I guess for me, I didn't expect them to because
No,
these,
it's a different thing.
yeah, it's a completely different product. It's more about convenience than it is about having the best audio quality. And so if you're looking for like the absolute most pristine audio quality, well then, a speaker packed into the stem of a pair of sunglasses obviously aren't going to sound as good as something that's, are inside your ears and are entirely speakers and not meant to also, be slender and slim so that they can fit inside of the stem of a pair of sunglasses. But
Yeah, you could take phone calls on them too, right?
yeah, you can take phone calls. I haven't tested the microphone quality. I don't even know if these have a microphone in them. I think they do. And I haven't tried that yet, but I should give you a call, and you should let me know.
On air.
Oh yeah, they've got 2 mics, one in each stem. They have 5.5 hour playtime, which actually is lower than I would have thought because, like I said, like mine last all week, and I use them for long stretches of time over the course of the week. And they're also IPX4 water resistant. So I guess that means they can get splashed by rain. I'd have to look up what IPX4 means. I don't remember. Yeah, they're cool, man. I started off when we were talking about this, I was like, I don't think I'm in love with them yet, but I'm close. Like I'm close. Like they have definitely found their way into my heart. And whenever I go out now, like I always make sure they're with me. And the other thing I like is they're kind of covert, right? Like there are situations where you don't want to have your AirPods in because then people know that you're not paying attention to them. But with these, so the thing I forgot to mention is they have they're touch sensitive on the sides. Like they have these logos on the sides that you can like double tap, and you can start and stop your audio by double tapping the sides of the stem, which is something that they used to have in the earlier versions of the AirPods, which they got rid of in the AirPods 3, which I actually don't like as much because now if you want to control audio, you have to like press on the stem, which isn't nearly as
Right.
convenient. And so for these, like you can just be like having a conversation with your wife, like right, and like she comes in. This is the typical scenario for me, right? Like I'm sitting there listening to something, and then she just comes in, she just starts talking to me because she doesn't know that I'm listening to anything. So I just double tap it. And it stops, and then I'm listening. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that sounds cool. Like, yeah, great plan there. And then as soon as she's done going on and on about whatever she's talking about, I just double tap it, and the audio starts again. And it doesn't really seem like I'm listening to anything. Now, if they're close enough to you, they can hear it because it's ethereal, so they might be able to tell. But on a drive, like if I'm on a drive with my wife, like I'm not gonna wear my AirPods because that means I'm communicating the message like I'm not listening to you. I want to be listening to my AirPods, right? And when we're on drives, my wife always wants to be talking to me. But then sometimes there's little breaks where she stops. So I just, I just double tap it.
Sometimes there are times when she stops. Also, it could also work the other way. When they start talking, you tap the temples and start the music, and you just start nodding. Yes, dear. Yes, honey. You're absolutely right, dear.
We got to get you a pair of these, Lewis. I think you need a pair of these.
It's
So-
funny you mentioned that. The whole thing of like, my wife does the exact same thing, right? I mostly am up in the office. So then when I go downstairs to get some water or coffee or something like that, it's like, oh, now's my chance to talk to Lewis. And I typically, if I'm making a cup of coffee, I'm listening to a podcast with a AirPod in my ear. And she just comes in and she starts talking. I'm like, I can't hear you because I've got, so she doesn't get the visual cue that I can't hear it. And it's an odd phenomenon, isn't it? It's like, you feel like somebody just barged in on you and expected you to be just 100% listening to you, but in fact you're like listening to some podcast, right? Because, you've been in there. Sometimes, like, if
You're in
been
the
sitting there
zone.
washing the dishes for like 10, 15
Totally.
minutes, what are you doing? I mean, is it weird that I've got that I'm listening to a podcast while I wash the dishes? No. I'm in fact, she used to complain because I would listen to the radio back in the day, right?
Uh-huh.
Listen to the radio and like, oh, you're always listening to the radio. I don't want to hear it. I'm like, okay, well, now I have AirPods and I can listen to the radio or the podcast. And anyway, it's a common problem, I guess, at least between the two of us.
Yeah, I think that's a common wife-husband problem. I know there's definitely people out there who are kind of like nodding and they're like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about when you're on the drive and you're like, I kind of wanted to just listen to a podcast, but you're talking to me, it's like, I don't want to be rude, but if you're going to stop, then I'll just, double tap it and I'll wait for the next, stream of consciousness to begin.
Secret double tap.
Anyway, I should wrap up. I know I've been going on and on about these, but I wasn't expecting to like them as much as I have. And I think more than anything else is I love the design of the sunglasses, which is important, right? Because they're actually cool sunglasses. They're $150 for a pair of these. And then the actual sunglass portion, which you just snap on to the stems here, costs $50 each. I think they're all $50, and I think Anker's got a great product on their hands here. I really do. Like I said, they're kind of wacky. They're not for everyone, but I like them. And if you like ethereal audio, I would wholeheartedly recommend you try these out. And you'll probably like them more than you think that you're gonna like them. Once you have like that ethereal audio experience, you don't have to have anything in your ears. Once you get used to it. It's just kind of nice to have some variety. You don't have to have something jammed in your ears all the time. God, I went on and on about those forever. So that was just a stream of consciousness.
It's an interesting product, man.
Yeah, it is kind of an interesting product.
It's different, It's not just another set of AirPods or earbuds. It's not another wall wart.
Yeah,
there's something to say about it. I mean, it's an interesting thing.
Yeah, that's actually a great point. It is. It's an unusual product. I think that actually might make it what is interesting because it's not just another pair of headphones, like you say. Everyone's always got a pair of headphones. Or our headphones are different because they go to 11. Or look, the ear cups are a special microfiber that
comes in purple.
Yeah, right. But they're all just headphones. It's like, and here you have Anker, and Anker is interesting because. They got their start on Amazon. I think they were built to be an Amazon company. And they started off with cables and Apple accessories. And they built a brand name for themselves for building high quality cables and stuff. And now they're branching out. Like we were talking about, they have that power bank, that $1,500 battery power bank. They just came out with a 3D printer, which I think is really interesting. And I'm wondering how that compares to other 3D printers. So now they're branching out into other products, which is interesting. They have these. They have a bunch of audio products now. So they're kind of expanding into everything.
Their earbuds are really good, too. I mean, they don't have that Apple ecosystem magic, right? I mean, that's my only knock against them.
Dude,
otherwise,
nobody has
great.
that. I mean,
know.
That's the thing. You realize how great the AirPods are when you can move from your iPhone to your iPad to your Mac, and you don't have to connect anything or do anything. And these are Bluetooth. They have a great connection, but when you're connected to your phone and then you go to your iPad, they don't automatically connect to your iPad. You have to disconnect them from your iPhone, reconnect them to your iPad. It's it's kind of lame. But that's how Bluetooth works, Yeah,
that's how everything works.
That's how everything works.
Before the AirPods.
Yeah, exactly. Right. All right, let's go ahead. I'll wrap it up there, Lewis. I just spent 45 minutes talking about the Anker SoundCore Frames. So I think we should go ahead and wrap it up there. That's all the CultCast we have
my
for
product next
you
week.
Guys this week. Are you mumbling about something? I can't understand what you're saying. If you can't stand that the CultCast is ending, you want to continue forever, well, you can come say hi. We're both on Twitter. I'm at Arafon, ERFON. Lewis is at Lewis Wallace. This has been the CultCast, the best 30+ minute Apple conversation you're going to hear all week long. New episodes of the CultCast come out every Thursday night. Thank you to everyone for listening and watching live. We've been going for 2 hours, Lewis. 2 hours.
What day is it?
Well, thank you everyone for listening and watching, and we'll see you guys next time. My mouth is dry, Lewis. There's no juice left.
You need a water bottle to remind you to take something to
If
drink.
only I had a bottle that would flash RGB lighting to let me know that it was time.
You need a 32 ouncer.
32 ounces would be nice. I think I'd prefer 40. You know what they need to make? is an RGB flask for LK. It's like your blood alcohol level is getting dangerously low.
That would be nice if they could actually measure the blood alcohol level in there. That'd be great. Danger! Danger!
Danger! Blood alcohol level dangerously low. Must take 2 swigs. That's a product that Leander would review. 5 stars. All right, all. We're just rambling now. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend. I'm hovering towards the end stream button as we speak. Speaking of streams, I got one that I need to go and take care of outside.
Oh, dear.
That's it. No more jokes. The rambling stops here. Bye, y'all.